Hey everyone, and welcome back to the ATD Movie Channel. I'm Tony, and today I'll be reviewing The Post, the latest film by legendary director Steven Spielberg. Let's jump right into it. The Post tells the real-life story of the Washington Post newspaper in the 1960s and 70s. If you haven't seen the trailers, I'll give you a quick summary. Meryl Streep plays the owner and publisher of the iconic newspaper. Tom Hanks plays a tough-nosed editor. Together, they're faced with the ultimate dilemma: protect government secrets that have been locked away for almost 40 years, or protect the First Amendment and expose those secrets to the American people. While the story wasn't my favorite part of the film, it really was fascinating. I love movies that tell a story about a time in our history that I wasn't familiar with. And in the movie, President Nixon is trying to quiet the free press, an obviously similar thing to what's happening in our country today. And regardless of your political position on the subject of exposing government secrets, we can all agree there are valid arguments on both sides. And I think the movie tried to balance the two positions. On one hand, the newspaper has a duty to inform the public, but certain government secrets could very well put us in a compromising position with other nations. This is an important issue and could not have come at a more poignant time in our history. Aside from the fascinating story being told, I think my favorite aspect of the movie are the characters. And to be a little more specific, Meryl Streep's character of Kay Graham is amazing. Graham inherited the Washington Post without a day's worth of experience. Graham is burdened with making the company profitable and not just a regional newspaper. The script is so good, you guys. Meryl Streep so effortlessly plays this character to perfection. Starting out as an introverted female business owner at the beginning of the movie in an almost exclusively male-dominated industry. But we see the character change and evolve, and this is all within the film's 2-hour runtime. By the end of the movie, Graham is a confident woman who demands the respect of all those surrounding her. I don't think this character arc works with a less capable actress or director for that matter. The fact that Streep turns in a powerful performance should come at absolutely no surprise to anyone. Equally brilliant in his role is Tom Hanks. It's hard to believe, but Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks had never worked together before The Post, and it was worth the wait. Hanks plays Ben Bradlee, an editor at the Washington Post. Bradlee's a tough, competitive editor. He has a passion for the news and all the good that it represents. Free speech is such a powerful concept for one to use as the driving force of their career, and that's exactly what Bradlee does. He forces us to remember the Founding Fathers and what their goal was for the First Amendment. I totally bought Hanks's accent, his mannerisms, and the subtle nuances of his performance. The best scenes in the movie showcase both of these two brilliant actors. Other supporting actors are wonderful in the film too. Bob Odenkirk, David Cross, and Bruce Greenwood carry the film when Streep and Hanks are not at the forefront. I've mentioned it several times now, but the film deals with some really important subjects like government secrets and the freedom of the press. And I applaud the filmmakers for finding a way to keep the movie grounded. It would have been easy to focus on the politics of the story, but the movie instead focuses on such character traits as morals and the drive and passions of people. These are all things we can relate to, which inherently makes for a more interesting story. I really enjoyed this movie, but I do wish Spielberg and company would have focused on something a little bit more than they did, and that's the gender inequity of the times. And to be clear, this is not a dislike or anything like that, it's just something that I wish the script would have focused on a little bit more than it did. Kay Graham may as well have been a superhero during this time. She overcame incredible obstacles that went all the way up to the Supreme Court. But she persevered and she never wavered. The movie only slightly touches on the gender inequity of the time, and it's really muted. For example, in one scene there are women that are just sitting around and gossiping in one room while the men deal with the quote-unquote real issues facing America. There's another scene where all the men in the room are telling Kay Graham what she's feeling and what she should do, only to have Graham shut them down and demand the respect that she deserves. In another beautifully written scene, Kay Graham discusses with her daughter how the company became hers. It was nice to see two female characters talk to each other about something other than a man. And there's one subtle nod that I really liked, and it's towards the end of the film. It's when Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks' characters are leaving the Supreme Court. All the male owners of competing newspapers are mobbed by the press outside the courtroom. But no one bothers or even cares to interview Kay Graham, and she's completely okay with it. As she walks down the steps of the most powerful court of our land, there are a slew of women there to show their support. I loved this scene, and I just wish there was more about how women could overcome anything considering the time in our history. Overall, The Post is a well-executed film with an important lesson that is still being learned today. We need the press. We need them to keep our leaders honest, regardless of political party. I doubt the movie is going to have the longevity of other Spielberg classics, but it showcases some of the best actors of our time. Streep and Hanks give amazing performances that remind us why they're the best in the business. So, have you seen The Post? How do you compare it to other newspaper-driven films like Spotlight? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, it helps us out a lot. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be notified of content uploaded regularly. You can find other movie reviews on the channel as well. Thanks for watching my review for The Post. I'll talk to you soon.